boys and girls, I'm back. Not really had time to do any vlogs recently, but I managed to squeeze this one in. I've been looking for jobs and applying for my driving licence. Well, I say applying for my driving licence. I've had my driving licence years. Applying for actually learn to drive, which, believe me, it's a pretty extreme experience for me. The man who said that he'd never learn to drive, all of a sudden, starting to drive, and not very good with large moving vehicles. That's Craig, when I nearly killed him in Iron Apple with a go-kart. But yeah, as most of you know, or some of you know if you've been looking at my videos and whatnot, I went to Nottingham for Game City this year. It was absolutely awesome. The highlight for me has to be the Lazer pen game. I'll put the link in the description if you haven't seen it, but basically it's 200 people, all with laser pens, interactive gaming, massive projection screen, and you move the items on the screen by moving the laser pen across it, which, as you can guess, was a lot of trolling with 200 people just dicking around with these lasers trying to move the box. The idea of the main game was you had harvesters, and you could move the harvesters around to either collect things for the health for the harvester and in order to build a bigger base. As well as this, you was being attacked by these like red stars. It's the best way you can really, or asterisks is the best way to describe them. These asterisks have a series of little tiny circles made up on them, and the idea was you had to focus the laser on the little tiny circles, and when it was all focused on all the circles for a certain period of time, it'd explode, and then the entity would be killed, which was extremely difficult in regards to the boss battles, because the boss battles were absolutely immense. So we're talking big. I mean, the circles took half the screen up, so it was and there was moving, so it wasn't the easiest task. It took a lot of cooperation with 200 other players, and us shouting at the top of our voices because we'd been drinking, "Get the inner circle! The inner circle!" But like I said, if you watch the description, watch the video in the description, you should be able to see that fine. I'm just looking at my notes because, I'm not very good at non-structured things. Where else are we? I'm still looking for work. I had an interview on last week. I can't even remember the day now. I think it was Thursday. I had an interview at Booker's, and we'll see what happens there. They were supposed to get back to me by yesterday, and they haven't, so it's not looking too promising, to be honest. But I'm going to give them a telephone call tonight and see why they haven't got back to me. If it's because I'm rubbish, or if it's because I'm overqualified, or if it's because they just don't want me. Who knows? I don't. Basically, Booker's is a massive retail warehouse. It supplies shops and all sorts of things. But I ain't working in the warehouse part. I'll be working in the offices part. Now I've got the internet back, on a permanent basis this time. So hence why I haven't really been uploading things and stuff like that, because the limit here is absolutely ridiculous. Crew really take you for a ride. I mean, who? What? Yeah. So now I'm paying for the internet, so it's now 36 quid a month. Great. But yeah, it's coming out of my pocket for a man who doesn't have any job and has had little to no wages, which is unfortunate, which means I can't go to Nottingham or Derby before Christmas this year, and I really wish I could go back and see everyone, because I miss you guys, I really do. Oh, I've also been recently started doing a new comic idea called Fergus, which is loosely based on Garfield and Charlie Brown, really. It's just a 3 to 4 panel comic about a Scotty dog in a flat cap called Fergus. He just goes around doing everyday things, having a laugh, taking the piss out of his owner. David, yeah, I know, nice original name there. I couldn't really think of anything. As you know, Fergus, it's pretty Scottish. I was like, oh, what could we have for a Scottish name? So I was like, Fergus and Angus. No, that doesn't sound right. Scott, no, because he's a Scotty dog. It doesn't really play. So I was like, David. David will do. It's a nice generic name. It doesn't have any real problems at all. So that should be fine. It's almost that time again. It's almost that time again. It's nearly December, which means it's my mum's birthday. on the last day of November, which is great because obviously I've spent all my money on Christmas presents, not to mention beer and hookers, especially beer, lol. Anyway, yeah, so I haven't got any money for that, so I'm going to have to try and sort something out, but it is like this week, so I have to sort that out. Other than that, there's not really much to say really. This is me getting out of here. See you there.